course.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Doherty in California, you're up. Cleanup
Hey, Doug.
hitter.
Doug, thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing such a personal story. I think my story is one of personal too. I lost both my parents to alcoholism and suicide. So this has always been a challenge. But I look at your vulnerability being an advocate for the most lethal legal drug we have. And what we didn't have during that time in the 2000s, I wonder the impact it's having now, which is social media. What is social media in your experience? What are you seeing from people? How are they handling not only their sobriety, but then the social media pressure that comes with that as well?
So I can only share what I've experienced, what I've seen, because a lot of the people I follow are advocates or women who are sober or moms who are sober, kind of trying to dismantle mommy wine culture, or gray area drinkers. And what I'm even learning, as I identify as someone with substance use disorder, it is not safe for me on any levels to have any amount of alcohol ever. End of story. Some women or some people are now calling gray area drinkers, and they're kind of analogizing it as like a spectrum of almost like autism, right? Like there's a spectrum of drinking. And I'm like, okay, with all due respect, I don't know anything about that. I just know about mine. But I follow a lot of women that's what they, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? That's what they call themselves. Perspective. Yeah. So those are kind of who I follow, and they will take people down for posting. There was recently a jewelry company that said, oh my gosh, something about wine, like something this or 5 glasses of wine, whatever you want to do, it's gonna make you happy or something like that. And there were at least 5 different accounts that blasted this thing, tagged them, said do not buy from them, some with 200,000 followers, some with 50,000 followers. So there is a really active community online on social media of women who are saying mommy wine culture is not cool. Will call people out, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't tend to call people out, but my concern, I think, with social media is the kids. Like my 6-year-old, I try to keep him off as much as possible because of like one consent to the dopamine. He's like, can you post that picture? How many likes did you get? And I'm like, no, you're 6. Like, we're not going to go there. So I don't have an answer as far as, but I don't know. On one hand, I'm grateful that social media was not around when I was drinking, because
I agree. I think, sobriety is hard enough. And I think, God forbid, my mother had access to social media, or my father at the time. I could only imagine.
I don't know. I may have quit sooner.
Yeah.
Pictures of me out there, like, no, I'm kidding. Kind of kidding. Yeah, I don't know that social media is, I don't know. I've got my own thoughts on that.
Yeah.
It's good for some things, but I think it does create a false image of people. And so without that backing of vulnerability, but I think there's also a backlash, actually, now that I'm saying that, of people willing to be a little bit more vulnerable and saying, like, this is a highlight reel. This is what really happened, and I hope that continues.
Thank you.